In order to make this simple chocolate sponge, also known as a Genoise sponge, you'll find the ingredients listed in the down bar below this video. Firstly, we want to prepare our tin. Melted butter and a pastry brush, and just brush the entire inside. All of the corners, getting all of the edges. Some flour, sprinkle that inside, and just shake it around. The flour covers the butter entirely. Then you just want to tip and tip out the excess. Then you just need a bain-marie. Just put some water into the saucepan on the bottom and your sugar and eggs into the bowl that sits on top. We're just going to bring our water to a low simmer. Once that's simmering, just place our bowl on top, take a whisk, a hand whisk, and you just want to stir and lightly whisk for 3 to 4 minutes. We just want to warm the eggs. So you then want to remove that from the heat, and then you want to take an electric whisk and you want to whisk that on a high speed for about 15 minutes until it gets to the stage where it forms these nice thick ribbons. So we then just need to incorporate our flour and cocoa powder. So I've sifted my flour and cocoa powder together onto just a piece of baking paper. Then what I'm going to do is pick it up and I'm just going to sprinkle about a third all over the surface. Then I'm going to take a spatula and just fold that in. The motion you want to use is cut down through the middle, pull along the bottom and up the side. So you want to go from bottom to top. Whilst doing so, you can twist your bowl in the opposite direction. So going down, up, over, down, up, over. And you want to pay special attention to the bottom as the flour does tend to accumulate there. Every so often you can just tilt your bowl slightly to make sure you're getting the flour that's at the bottom. And once that seems to be fairly well incorporated, just sprinkle over your second third and fold that in exactly the same way. Final third. Just before the final third is all incorporated, you want to incorporate your butter if you're adding it. A butter is always optional in this type of sponge. You can just add it if you'd like some extra moisture. So I've just melted some butter here. All you want to do is take a little spoon of your mixture, put it in with the butter, and sort of stir and fold that around. Then just pour it all back into the mixture, and fold that in exactly the same way. Then we just want to scrape the mixture into our prepared tin. Level it out roughly. And we're going to put that into the oven at about 175 degrees. You want to bake it for around about between 20 and 35 minutes, depending on your oven and depending on the size of the genoise you're making. You'll know that it's done if you press into the center and it sort of springs back lightly, and also you'll begin to see it just shrinking in away from the edges of the pan. Okay, so I've removed my sponge from the oven. I've allowed it to cool just a few minutes. Now I'm going to go around the edge with a spatula just to make sure it doesn't stick in any places. And then I'm just going to invert it onto a wire rack. Should slip out very easily. And then I'll just turn it up the right way. And that's it, you then have your finished chocolate sponge. You simply need to leave it to cool, and then you can use it for whatever you like. If you're not going to use it today, then you can just, once it's cool, you can wrap it in a cling film or tin foil, and you can freeze it for up to a month. Like I said, use it in any of your own recipes. It is at its best if you brush it with a sugar syrup. You'll find the short video, I'll link it down below on my channel, of how to make that sugar syrup, but it couldn't be easier nor quicker. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more French patisserie in general, and the way in which I use this exact sponge recipe to make many of beautiful French pastries, even classics like Black Forest Gâteau. This is your main player. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy your sponge recipe. I'm sure it will become your go-to chocolate sponge.